In this video, I'm going to continue creating a smart budget planning, and I will do the other side of the equation, the expenses, the hardest part from our life. The first thing that I want to do, I want you to do everything that I did before so I can save some time. That's why I'm using a table, a dashboard, a pivot table, so I can copy some of the features that are already done. So here, I'm going to duplicate this tab. One thing that I want to do here is to create a list to start to forecast all the expenses that I have. And to do this, I need to first insert some columns here. One easy way to do this, you can use the shortcut Ctrl+ if you have a keyboard with some numbers on the right hand side. But if you don't, if you are using a notebook, there is a sign on the right hand side close to the backspace, equal plus. You can press Ctrl+ and this button with equal plus to insert some columns. Here on column F, I can start creating a list, a temporary list, so I can try to remember, because I know that's hard to track. To help you, you can open your bank account or even your credit card to try to remember all the things that you pay monthly. Some of them is like your rent or mortgage, but there are way more expenses for you. For example, your car loan, your insurance, your credit card. Sometimes you have more than one credit card. Sometimes you went to Best Buy and bought a new computer or maybe a cat. So you need to list all the things from your expenses, courses, anything that you are paying. And don't worry, with time, if you remember something else, you can always update this table and get a better result. That's why we are using this format. And here on column F, we can create the actual list. And finally, we can start creating our table. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to delete everything from my income. I can press Shift to start highlight, Ctrl+ down to select everything, and I can even press Ctrl- to delete all the things that I have here on this table. And this way it's going to clean all the formats and also all the formulas, including the values, of course. And I want to show you how to deal with dates, because it can be very tricky sometimes, but here we can use some good things. For example, maybe your car loan is paid bi-weekly. So you can do the first payment, let's say it's today, whatever, you can post any day. On the next line, you can use the previous line, A2 in this case, and maybe you can sum 15 days to take it bi-weekly. So it works for dates. You can sum numbers and Excel will automatically understand taking a date plus 15 days and get a result. And then you can start building your post. For example, you pay minus $250 for your car loan. And now I can take the second row and drag down the information. And remember here, since it's an expense, I needed to post as a minus. In this case, it didn't work this minus 250, so I can always Ctrl+C, Ctrl+Shift, and Ctrl+Alt+V, V to paste special and replace all the values. My suggestion here is to do yearly, so you can have a good picture from the entire year to do this planning. And with time, you can post all the other entries for your budget planning. Another good tip in working with dates, I can help you creating, for example, for the rent. So let's say you pay the rent every first day of the month. So take, for example, the first month that you are going to pay your rent. So let's say next month on the first day, you put the entry, let's say you pay $2,000. And here you can use a formula. You can take the date to starting creating a date from the next cell. For the year, you already know, you can either type 2025 or you can do year and take the serial number from the previous date. You are going to take the date in Excel. It's going to take this date and return just the year from this date. I can close bracket and do the same from the month. But remember that we are going to pay on the next month. So if we are starting pay on February, the next one will be March and so on and so forth. So here I can do a math and do +1. And the date, you can type whatever you want. Let's say it's going to be on the first day of the month. And here we created a formula to automate and do our entries much faster than typing day by day. Another tip that I can do for you, sometimes it doesn't work to simply drag down the formula. So that's why you can also use Ctrl+C, select the amount of columns that you wanted to paste your information and press Ctrl+V. Excel will automatically paste all the formulas and also the values. So in this way, it's much easier to do all the calculations. Take your time to do all the entries and try to remember all of them. You can even change the columns to help you organize your data. And there is another thing that I can do for you, so you can always remember and double check if you put all the entries. That's why we create on column F the list of all the expenses that we have. And here on column E, we can use the formula unique. Unique, it's going to retrieve an array. So here we can select our entire data and close our bracket. It's going to retrieve all the unique values from column B from our data. In this way, you can double check and match with column F to see if the forecasted data matches with the actual list. If you see here, those cells, they are highlighted in blue because it means that it's an array. But if I type anything here underneath this array, it's going to retrieve me a spew error. So be careful to do this type of array, so you cannot type anything underneath the array, so it's not going to work. Since I created this table and also all the pivot tables, I needed to go on data, select it to refresh, and refresh all. And then Excel will automatically refresh all the pivot tables. You need to do this always to get updated data for the pivot tables. So always remember to refresh your data before you do all the calculations to take the actual data from your table. And finally, I can move it to my dashboard and do all the same stuff that I did for my income. I can copy all the information and paste it here on the right hand side and start updating everything. So here we are going to first update it here. You could even change the color. And here, once I select any charge, I can go here on the top ribbon, charge design, select data. And here I can start updating all the things that I had before. So I can go here on the category and edit. And now I can take a new cell here for the instead of incoming value. And here for the series instead income value, I can take my values from my expense. And now I can hit OK. And for the horizontal, I can, instead of taking from the first tab, I can go to the tab expense and take all the things from my expense. Hit OK. And hit OK, it's going to update all the informations from this part of my report. Since I'm using this type of design, I can select one specific data, double click on it, and drag it to the position that I want to have this data so I can better read it. So Excel will automatically create a line so you can better see where your data is. You can do this with all the things that you have. So just remember to double click on those legend values. And finally, I'm going to update my last chart here. I will do the same, select data and update those information. And one tip here for those type of charts, you can maybe change there the value, but I don't recommend this type of things to fix this chart. You can click here on this chart, double click to bring this pop-up panel to update the information. And here you have an option under the horizontal axis to reverse the values. And if you double check here, now I have all the expenses in the way that we are more used to see. If you see that it's all negative values, but you can see that my expenses, they are increasing over the time after February. And if you need to know how you can become a master in Excel and improve your Excel on it, please follow me for more. On the next video, I'm going to show you how to create a cash flow. We are going to use a special tool using Power Query and also completing our dashboard here.